has a lie. Poverty is about character. I've met millionaires who are spiritually broke and janitors who are rich in every way that matters. The real poverty epidemic isn't in your bank account, it's in your daily habits. While you're complaining about the economy, about your boss, about your circumstances, you're missing the real enemy. The enemy isn't out there trying to keep you down. The enemy is inside you, and its name is laziness. It's been feeding on your excuses, growing stronger every day you choose comfort over growth. And here's what nobody wants to admit. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a victim of your choices. You know what's killing more dreams than all other diseases combined? Laziness. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even know they have it. It's not cancer. It's not heart disease. It's not diabetes. The most dangerous disease in the world is laziness, and it's killing more dreams than all other diseases combined. You see, laziness is unique among diseases because it doesn't attack your body first. It attacks your mind, your spirit, your potential. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even know they have it. They think they're just taking it easy, being comfortable, waiting for the right moment.
And sold. What's wrong? I said a week to sell my car, Clarence. Pick it up tomorrow and they pay me on the spot. What am I supposed to do all this time?
Visit a museum?
A week?
Learn Italian?
Venduto la mia macchina Carvana. What are we gonna do? Sell your car to Carvana today.
The real reason Korean women are so skinny and how Hollywood celebs secretly are using it.
This is the gelatin recipe that took me from one.
But that's exactly how this disease works. It disguises itself as reasonable thinking. I remember when I was 5 years old, working as a stock clerk, making pennies. I had all these dreams, all these plans. I was going to be successful someday. I was going to make something of myself. But you know what I was really doing? I was waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to give me a chance, waiting for the perfect moment to start. That's when my mentor, Earl Schultz, sat me down and said something that changed my life forever. He said, Jim, you've got the disease. I said, what disease? He said, the disease of laziness. And if you don't cure it soon, it's going to kill everything good inside you. Now, laziness doesn't look like what you think it looks like. Lazy people aren't always lying on the couch watching television. Some of the laziest people I know are busy all day long. They're busy being busy, but they're not busy doing the things that matter. They're busy avoiding the things that matter. Laziness shows up as procrastination. I'll start my diet on Monday. I'll call that prospect next week. I'll read that book when I have more time. Laziness shows up as excuses. I don't have enough money to start. I don't have enough education. I don't have the right connections. Laziness shows up as comfort zone addiction. This job isn't great, but it's secure. This relationship isn't perfect, but it's comfortable. This life isn't exciting, but it's predictable. Here's what laziness costs you. It costs you your dreams. Every day you don't take action toward your goals, your dreams get a little dimmer, a little more distant, a little less real. It costs you your potential. You were born with gifts, with talents, with possibilities that are unique to you. But if you don't use them, you lose them. It costs you your self-respect. Deep down, you know when you're not giving your best. You know when you're settling. You know when you're living below your potential. And that knowledge eats away. But here's the most tragic cost of laziness: regret. At the end of your life, you won't regret the things you tried and failed at. You'll regret the things you never tried at all. You'll regret the chances you didn't take, the dreams you didn't pursue, the person you never became. The good news is this: laziness is a choice. It's not a condition you're stuck with. It's not something you inherit. It's not something that happens to you. It's something you do. And because it's something you do, it's something you can stop. But first, you need to recognize the symptoms. You need to diagnose yourself honestly. Are you procrastinating on important things? Are you making excuses instead of making progress?
I
Are you
always
staying
procrastinate.
instead of growing? Are you planning instead of doing? Let me tell you how
Yes,
this disease
I
progresses.
plan
It
like
starts
crazy.
small. You skip one workout. You put off one phone call. You delay one important conversation. And your mind says, no big deal, I'll do it tomorrow. But here's what happens. Every time you give in to laziness, you make it easier to give in the next time. Every time you
Yep.
choose comfort over growth, you strengthen the lazy muscle and weaken the disciplined muscle. It's like compound interest, but in reverse. Instead of your money growing, your laziness grows. Instead of your investments multiplying, your excuses multiply.
Kind of what this channel's for, is for me to
Time works against you. I've seen this happen to so
keep
many people. They start
accountability.
with such promise, such potential. They have dreams, they have plans, they have good intentions. But they also have lazy habits. And over the months and years, the lazy habits win. The dreams fade. The plans get dusty. The potential goes unrealized. Physical laziness is obvious. You can see it. But mental laziness is more dangerous because it's hidden. Mental laziness is when you stop learning, stop growing, stop challenging yourself. It's when you watch television instead of reading books. It's when you gossip instead of planning.
Yeah,
It's when
my
you
goal this year
complain
was,
instead of creating. And here's something
oh
interesting about
Lord,
lazy
6'7".
people.
I just
They
broke my
often have
6-year-old
the
from
most
saying
elaborate
6'7".
plans. They can tell you exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, when they're going to start. Their plans are perfect. Their strategies are brilliant. Their intentions are pure.
They're
But
funny.
their actions are absent. They're planning to plan. They're getting ready to get ready. They're preparing to prepare, but they're not doing. And in the marketplace of life, you get paid for doing, not for planning. Here's the truth about laziness. It's often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of
Yeah,
the
my goal
unknown.
this year was
So
12
instead of
books,
facing
one a
the
month.
fear and taking action anyway,
And
people choose
I'm gonna
laziness.
finish this one.
They choose to stay safe,
So I at least did
stay
4.
small, stay stuck. But here's what I learned from my
And
mentor,
if
and I want to
I
share with you today. The antidote to laziness
really
is
stick with it, I could probably
consistency.
do 2
Not
more.
intensity, not perfection, consistency. You see, most people think they
So
need
it'd
to
at
make
least be
dramatic
6.
changes. They think they need to work 18 hours a day, read
Which
5
isn't
books a
bad, it's
week,
not too far
exercise
from my
3
goal.
times a day. But that kind of intensity is impossible to maintain. It leads to burnout, frustration, and eventually back to laziness. Consistency is different. Consistency is doing something small every
I
day,
think in order
without
for me to
exception, over a long
read
period of
consistently, it
time.
would have to be
It's
a
the
thing I did for
tortoise,
the
not the
channel. I
hare.
would need to
It's the steady
do
drip
like a
of
book
water
review every
that
month.
eventually carves through
I
the
guess
rock.
that would be
When I was
fun.
struggling financially, I didn't need to read 20 books that month. I needed to read 20 pages that
Wouldn't
day.
matter if anybody
I didn't need to
watched
make
it.
100 phone calls that week. I needed to make one phone call that day.
That's what I need to start
I didn't
doing.
need to change
It doesn't matter
everything
if
about my
anyone
life
watches it.
overnight. I needed to
I
change
just need
one
to do it
small
for my
thing about my
accountability.
day every day. Let me tell you why consistency beats intensity every time. When you're consistent, you build momentum. And momentum is a powerful force. When you're
Like
consistent,
I've been
you build
thinking about doing a
confidence.
reselling channel,
Every day you follow through on your commitment to yourself, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted.
but I barely
When you're consistent, you build competence.
post
You get
content on
better at
here.
whatever you're doing because you're doing it regularly. But here's the real
So I'm
magic
thinking
of
about just putting
consistency. It
reseller stuff on
compounds.
here.
Just like money in the bank earns interest, consistent actions earn results. Small
But I don't
daily
know.
improvements
I
add up
don't
to
know.
remarkable transformations over time. I remember
My
when
goal
I started
tonight is to
working on
have
my
5 more
personal development, I
subscribers.
committed to reading just 10 pages a day. Some people laughed. They said,
That's
Jim,
my
10
goal
pages,
tonight.
that's nothing. I can read 10 pages in 15 minutes. But I stuck with it. 10 pages a day for a year is 3,650 pages.
That's why I'm
That's
doing
about
double
12 books.
size.
12
So it's a
books a
longer
year is
stream.
120 books in 10 years. Show me someone who has read 120 personal development
Hi,
books,
how are
and I'll
you?
show you someone whose life has been transformed. The same principle applies to
I'm a
everything.
little slow
Get
to
in
read
shape.
comments.
Don't
The phone
commit
is
to
above
working
my
out
head,
2 hours a day. You
so I
won't
do
stick with it.
apologize.
Commit to doing 20 push-ups every morning. Want to build wealth? Don't try to save half your income. You won't stick with it. Commit to saving $5 every day. Want to improve your relationships? Don't try to become the perfect spouse or parent overnight. Commit to saying one kind thing to your family every day. Consistency is a skill. It's not something you're born with or without. It's something you develop. And like any skill, the more you practice it, the better you get at it. Here's how you start building consistency. You start
Man, this
ridiculously
extra
small.
light,
So
super
small that it's
helpful.
almost embarrassing. So
I can actually
small that you
see.
can't fail. If you want to start exercising, don't commit to running 5 miles. Commit to putting on your running shoes every day. If you want to start eating better, don't commit to a complete diet overhaul. Commit to eating one piece of fruit every day. Why start so small? Because the goal isn't the action itself. The goal is building the habit of consistency. Once you prove to yourself that you can do something small every day, for 30 days you can gradually increase it. The key is daily disciplines.
If no one ever taught you how to manage your money, or you're secretly ashamed of where you're at financially, this is for you.
Not weekly disciplines, not monthly disciplines, daily disciplines. Because life is built on days. Your health is the result of what you do most days. Your wealth is the result of most days. Your relationships are the result of most days. Most people think discipline is hard, but here's what I've learned. Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Now let me give you the practical prescription for curing laziness with consistency. First, choose one area of your life where you want to see improvement. Don't try to change everything at once. Focus on one thing. Maybe it's your health, your finances, your relationships, or your personal development. Second, identify one small action you can take every day in that area. Make it so small that you can do it even on your worst day. If you choose health, maybe it's drinking one extra glass of water. If you choose finances, maybe it's reading one page of a finance book. If you choose relationships, maybe it's sending one encouraging text to someone you care about. Third, do that action every day for 30 days. No exceptions. Not 28 days, not 29 days, 30 days. Mark it on a calendar. Create a visual reminder of your consistency. Fourth, don't rely on motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel motivated, some days you won't. Instead, create a system. Make your consistent action part of your routine. Do it at the same time every day. Connect it to something you already do consistently. Fifth, prepare for setbacks. You'll have days when you don't want to do it. You'll have days when you forget. You'll have days when life gets in the way. That's normal. The key is getting back on track immediately. Don't let one missed day become 2 missed days. Don't let 2 missed days become a missed week. 6, track your progress. Keep a record of your consistency. There's something powerful about seeing a chain of successful days. It motivates you to keep the chain going. 7, gradually increase your standard. After 30 days of consistent action, you can slowly increase what you're doing. If you've been doing 20 push-ups, maybe increase to 25. If you've been reading 10 pages, maybe increase to 15. But here's the most important part. Celebrate your consistency. Recognize that every day you follow through, you're curing the disease of laziness. You're building the muscle of discipline. You're becoming a different person. You see, consistency doesn't just change what you do. It changes who you are. When you consistently take action despite not feeling like it, you become someone who follows through. When you consistently choose growth over comfort, you become someone who isn't afraid of challenges. When you consistently do what you say you're going to do, you become someone who can be endurers. I've seen this transformation happen countless times. I've seen people go from lazy to disciplined, from stuck to growing, from dreaming to achieving, and it always starts the same way, with one small, consistent action. There was a man who attended one of my seminars. He weighed over 300 pounds. He had tried every diet, every exercise program, every quick fix. Nothing worked, because he couldn't stick with anything. I told him to forget about losing weight. I told him to focus on walking to the end of his driveway and back every day for 30 days. He thought I was crazy. He said, Jim, walking to my mailbox isn't going to help me lose 100 pounds. I said, you're right, but it's going to help you become the kind of person who does what he says he's going to do. And that person can lose 100 pounds. He did it. 30 days of walking to his mailbox. Then he increased it to walking around the block, then 2 blocks. person. That's the power of consistency. It gives you a new identity. Instead of saying, I'm lazy, you start saying, I'm disciplined. Instead of saying, I can't stick with anything, you start saying, I follow through on my commitments. Instead of saying, I'll start tomorrow, you start saying, I start today. Now, here's what happens when you build a reputation with yourself for consistency. Opportunities start showing up. Why? Because people can count on you. They know that when you say you'll do something, you'll do it. They know that when you start something, you'll finish it. They know that when you commit to something, you'll follow through. Success isn't complicated. It's the result of simple disciplines practiced every day. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people isn't talent, education, or luck. It's consistency. Successful people do consistently what unsuccessful people do occasionally.
Is there any
Think about the wealthiest
threes?
person you know. I guarantee they have consistent daily habits around money. They consistently track their expenses.
Yes,
They
there's
consistently
threes.
invest. They consistently look for opportunities. They consistently learn about finances. Think about the healthiest person you know. They consistently eat well. They consistently exercise.
Oops.
They consistently get
I'm
enough sleep.
messy. I'm sorry.
They consistently manage their stress. Think about the happiest person you know. They consistently practice gratitude. They consistently nurture their relationships. They consistently work on personal growth. They consistently choose positive thoughts over negative. Consistency is available to everyone. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, or what mistakes you've made in the past. You can start being consistent today, right now, this moment. But here's the urgency. Every day you delay, every day you choose laziness over consistency is a day you can't get back. Time is the one resource you can't earn more of, can't save up, can't borrow. Once it's gone forever. Your life is the sum of your days, and your days are the sum of your choices. Every day you're choosing between laziness and consistency, between comfort and growth, between who you are and who you could become. The cure for laziness isn't complicated. It's consistent action, small daily disciplines that compound over time into remarkable results. The question isn't whether this works. The question is whether you'll work it. Some of you listening today have been waiting for permission to start. Some of you have been waiting for the perfect plan. Some of you have been waiting for the right time. But permission comes from you. The plan gets better as you go. And the right time is now. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until next month. Start today. Choose one small action. Commit to doing it every day. Begin the cure.
Farmer Boy's $9.99 big cheese box is back.
I think it might thunderstorm.
Enjoy our delicious, melty, and mouth-watering
For laziness with the medicine of consistency. Your future self is counting on the decision you make today. Will you continue to let laziness rob you of your potential? Or will you start building the habit of consistency that will transform your life? The choice is yours. The time is now. The cure is in your hands. Let me share with you one more story before we part ways today. There was a farmer who had two fields. Both fields had the same soil, the same sunlight, the same rainfall. In the first field, he planted seeds and then waited. He thought nature will take care of everything. The rain will come, the sun will shine, the plants will grow. And you know what happened? Weeds took over that field. The few plants that did grow were weak, sickly, struggling to survive among the weeds. In the second field, he planted the same seeds, but every day he went out to that field. He pulled the weeds. He watered the plants during dry spells. He protected them from pests. He cultivated the soil. He was consistent in his care. And that field, it produced a harvest beyond his wildest dreams. Your life is like those two fields. Laziness is like leaving your field unattended. You think things will just work out. You think success will just happen. You think your dreams will just come true. But life doesn't work Excuses
Yes, they
multiply quicker
do.
than results. Problems compound faster than solutions. Consistency is like tending your field every day. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's doing the work when no one is watching. It's planting seeds of action when you can't see the harvest yet. But here's something most people don't understand about consistency. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't have to be perfect every day. You just have to be present every day. You don't have to do everything right. You just have to do something right. I've learned that life will test your consistency. There will be days when everything goes wrong. Your alarm doesn't go off. Your car breaks down. Your computer crashes. Your kids get sick. Your boss has a bad day. Life throws you curveballs. And on those days, the lazy voice in your head will say, see, this is why you shouldn't even try. This is why consistency, but that's exactly when consistency matters most. That's when you prove to yourself what you're made of. That's when you separate yourself from the crowd. Anyone can be consistent when it's easy. Champions are consistent when it's hard. The path from lazy to consistent isn't smooth. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be days when you want to quit. But every time you get back up, every time you start again, every time you choose consistency over comfort, you're building something inside yourself that can never be taken away. You're building character, you're building confidence, you're building the unshakable belief that you can do what you set out to do. And that belief becomes the foundation for everything else you achieve in life. There's something else I want you to understand about consistency in different areas of your life. In your health, being consistent with small, healthy choices creates energy. Energy creates motivation. Motivation creates more consistent choices. It's an upward spiral that leads to vitality and longevity in your finances. Being consistent with small savings creates security. Security creates confidence. Confidence creates better financial decisions. Better decisions create wealth. Wealth creates freedom. Freedom creates choices. In your relationships, being consistent with small acts of kindness creates trust. Trust creates intimacy. Intimacy creates deeper connections. Deeper connections create love. Love creates fulfillment in your career. Being consistent with small improvements creates competence. Competence creates recognition. Recognition creates opportunities. Opportunities create advancement. Advancement creates success. But here's what happens when you're inconsistent. In your health, skipping workouts occasionally becomes skipping workouts regularly. Small indulgences become big habits. Energy decreases. Motivation disappears. Health declines. In your finances, spending a little extra occasionally becomes spending a lot extra regularly. Small debts become big debts. Security disappears. Stress increases. Freedom vanishes. This is the law of cause and effect. This is the law of the harvest. You reap what you sow, but you reap it late. And you always reap more than you sow. If you sow laziness, you'll reap more laziness. If you sow consistency, you'll reap more than consistency. You'll reap success, fulfillment, and the life you've always wanted. The question is, what are you sowing today? With every choice you make, every action you take, every habit you practice, planting seeds. And those seeds will determine your harvest. Some of you might be thinking, Jim, I've tried this before. I've tried to be consistent. I've made commitments to myself, but I always end up quitting. How do I know this time will be different? Here's how you make it different. You change your approach. Instead of trying to change your life, change your day. Instead of trying to transform everything, transform one thing. Instead of trying to be consistent for the rest of your life, be consistent for the rest of today. Make today a masterpiece. Win today. And when tomorrow comes, make tomorrow a masterpiece too. String together enough masterpiece days, and you'll have a masterpiece life. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. The distance between your dreams and your reality is called action. And action, repeated consistently over time, not a talent you're born with. It's a skill you develop. It's a choice you make. It's a commitment you keep. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to be the same person you were yesterday, or you can choose to be a little bit better. You can choose to do the same things you did yesterday, or you can choose to do something that moves you forward. You can choose to think the same thoughts you thought yesterday, or you can choose to think thoughts that inspire action. Life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. Your life is not determined by what happens around you. Your life is determined by what happens within you. And what happens within you is determined by the choices you make every single day. So I leave you with this challenge. For the next 30 days, choose consistency over comfort. Choose action over analysis. Choose progress over perfection. Choose to show up even when you don't feel like it. Choose to do something even when you don't feel ready. Choose to move forward even when you can't see the whole staircase. Because at the end of those 30 days, you'll discover something remarkable. You'll discover that the person who started this journey and the person who completed it are not the same person. You'll discover that consistency didn't just change your actions, it changed your identity. And when your identity changes, the cure for laziness is in your hands. The prescription is consistency. The time to start is now. Your life is waiting. You know what amazes me? Most folks spend more time planning their weekend than planning their life. And that is why weekends are fun and life becomes hard. It does not have to be that way. I want to talk to you about something so powerful yet so simple that it might just change everything for you.
I was too short from having them all
And
out.
stay silent. Some of you might be wondering what that means. Let me tell you. In a world where everybody is shouting to be heard, the person who turns inward and works quietly often achieves the
Hi,
most
how are you?
extraordinary results. The person who focuses on personal growth rather than public approval often finds the
We're
success
doing
that
number
eludes
5
those
now.
chasing applause. I learned this lesson years ago as a farm boy in Idaho. We had this neighbor, Mr. Johnson. Now, Mr. Johnson did not talk much about his crops. He did not boast about his methods. He just worked diligently, studied constantly, and refined his approach year after year.
Introducing the Steelwater Max series, the ultimate fortress for your most prized possessions.
While others talked at the local diner about what they were going to do, Mr. Johnson simply did it. And you know what? His farm outproduced everyone else's in the county. His silence was not weakness. His focus was not selfishness. These were his strength. That is the first principle I want you to understand today. Focus on yourself does not mean ignore others. It means recognize that the only person you can truly change and develop is you. And staying silent does not mean never communicate. It means be judicious with your words and generous with your action. Now let me tell you why most people fail to achieve what they truly want in life. They are constantly looking outward instead of inward. They are so busy watching what everyone else is doing that they lose track of their own path. Social media has made this 100 times worse. Now you can
Hell
waste
yeah.
not just minutes, but hours, days, weeks of your precious life watching other people pretend to live theirs. Have you noticed how the loudest people in the room are rarely the most successful? The person announcing their goals to everyone, posting every small achievement online, seeking constant validation rarely has the focus required for true mastery. They are too busy talking about the work to do the work. There is an old saying I like. Empty vessels make the most noise. Think about that. The full vessel, heavy with content, makes little sound when moved. But the empty one rattles and clangs with every small disturbance. Which vessel are you? On your mind? I had a mentor once who told me, Jim, success is not about what you say you will do. It is not even about what you try to do. Success is only about what you actually do, consistently, when no one is watching. Stuck with me. What you do when no one is watching. That is the true
I
measure.
clean the house when
Let me
no
share
one's
something with
watching.
you. The greatest accomplishments of my life
The only time I like to
happened
clean
during
is when
periods
everyone's
when
in
I went
bed.
quiet. When I stopped announcing announcing my plans is
Why?
simply
Because it stays
executing.
clean.
When I reduced
At
my
least
social
until I wake
calendar
up.
and increased my study time. When I said no to distractions and yes to development. I remember when I started studying success. I did not create a podcast about it. I did not become a success tourist, taking selfies with successful people. I just read hundreds of books. I filled notebook after notebook with insights. I applied what I learned, failed, adjusted, and tried again. And I did this quietly, consistently, for years before I ever stood on stage to speak about it. This brings me to the fundamental principles of personal transformation. If you want different results, you must become a different person. And becoming a different person requires focused, intentional work on yourself. First, you must take complete responsibility for your life. Not partial responsibility, not most of the responsibility, complete responsibility. The moment you blame anything outside yourself for your condition is the moment you surrender your power to change it. Second, you must dedicate yourself to learning. The books you do not read cannot help you. The courses you do not take cannot teach you. The mentors you do not seek cannot guide you. Your education, both formal and self-directed, must become a lifelong pursuit. Third, you must implement what you learn immediately. Knowledge without action is merely entertainment. I meet people all the time who can quote every self-help author from the last 50 years, yet their lives show no evidence of this wisdom. Do not be a collector of quotes and concepts. Be a practitioner of principles. Fourth, you must develop
Hi, how are
extraordinary
you?
discipline. Average people have wishes. Successful people have goals and systems. The bridge between the two is discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. And fifth, you must measure your progress honestly. No excuses, no rationalizations. The numbers do not lie.
I don't
Your
see any
bank account, your
six.
health metrics, your relationship quality, your business growth. These are the scorecards of your focus and discipline. And sixth, perhaps most important for our topic today, you must learn the discipline of silence. The restraint not to share every thought, announce every plan, seek validation for every small victory. This discipline alone separates the achievers from the dreamers. Now, let us talk specifically about this discipline of silence. Why is it so powerful? Because silence creates space for depth. When you are constantly outputting, talking, posting, sharing, you leave little energy for input, listening, learning, absorbing. Think about the greatest thinkers in history. They required periods of deep silence and solitude. Einstein with his violin and long walks. Darwin with his daily thinking path worn into his garden. Edison in his lab for hours of uninterrupted focus. These were not people constantly distracted by the noise of other people's opinions. Silence is also the soil in which your authentic voice grows. When you are constantly reacting to others, constantly seeking approval, constantly comparing yourself to everyone else, you lose touch with your own inner wisdom. Your unique gifts get buried under an avalanche of outside influence. I want you to consider something profound. The average person today consumes more information in a day than someone in the 1800s might have encountered in a year. Yet are we wiser?
Nope.
Are we more fulfilled? Are
Nope.
we achieving more of significance? Or are we just more scattered, more anxious, more uncertain? The solution is not more information. The solution is more integration. Taking what you already know and actually applying it, testing it, refining it, mastering it. And this integration requires periods of silence and focus. There is another important benefit to staying
So
silent
when it's
while
done,
focusing on yourself. It prevents you from diluting your goals through premature sharing. Have you noticed how talking about your goals often gives you the same emotional satisfaction as actually achieving them? This is dangerous. Studies show that when you announce your goals publicly, your brain experiences a social reality that can actually decrease your motivation to do the hard work necessary to achieve them. You get the reward not need the likes and comments. They need the results. Now let us talk about how to build yourself while others are busy talking. This is where the real advantage comes in. While others are debating, discussing, and distracting themselves, you can be developing. First, create a clear personal development plan. What skills do you need to acquire? What knowledge gaps must you fill? What habits need changing? Be as specific as possible. Becoming a better communicator is too vague. Practicing public speaking for 30 minutes daily and reading one book on communication per month. Be specific and action. Second, create boundaries around your development time. This time must become sacred. No social media, no unnecessary meetings, no distractions. Even 30 focused minutes per day adds up to 182 hours per year. That is the equivalent of 4.5 40-hour work weeks of pure development. Third, document your progress privately. Keep a journal, a spreadsheet, a system that allows you to see your growth over time. This serves two purposes. It keeps you accountable to yourself, and it provides motivation when you can see how far you have come. Fourth, seek quality feedback from selected mentors. Notice I said selected mentors, not random opinions. Choose people who have achieved what you wish to achieve, who understand your goals, and who will give you honest, constructive feedback without tearing you down. Fifth, practice in private before performing in public. Musicians understand this. They do not just show up on stage without countless hours of private practice. Yet in business and personal development, many people want to skip this critical step. They want the applause without the preparation. Sixth, become comfortable with being misunderstood temporarily. When you are focused on long-term growth while others chase short-term validation, some people will not understand your choices. That is okay. Results speak louder than explanations. Let me tell you about the compound effect of quiet focus. Just like compound interest in your financial investments, compound growth in your personal development creates extraordinary results over time. If you improve just 1% each day, after 1 year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. Not 37% better, 37 times better. That is the power of compound growth. But this magic only works with consistency, and consistency requires focus. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a week and drastically underestimate what they can accomplish in a year of focused effort.
Well, that's
They
me.
get discouraged by short-term plateaus and miss the long-term exponential curve. I remember talking with a young entrepreneur who was frustrated with his progress. He had been working on his business for 6 months and felt he should be further along. I asked him to list everything he had learned in those 6 months. The skills developed, the connections made, the lessons from failures. The list went on for pages. I told him, you have not been failing for 6 months. You have been building the foundation that will support massive success. But if you quit now, that foundation serves nothing. He stayed the course, focused quietly on improvement, and 3 years later had a multi-million-dollar company. The compound effect also works because silent focus allows for deeper work. When you are not constantly switching between tasks, not constantly checking notifications, not constantly seeking validation, you enter what some call a flow state. This is where real breakthroughs happen. In this state, your subconscious mind makes connections your conscious mind might miss. Solutions to problems appear seemingly from nowhere. Creativity flourishes. But this state requires extended periods of uninterrupted focus that most people never experience because they cannot bear the silence. Another benefit of the compound effect is that it builds momentum. Success begets success. Small wins create confidence that leads to bigger wins. But this flywheel effect requires consistent
Ken
energy
is O.
applied in a consistent direction. If you are constantly changing course based on the latest trend or
There's a lot of
criticism,
O's.
you never build momentum. Now let me share some practical daily habits that will help you focus on yourself while staying relatively silent. These are things you can implement immediately. First, begin each day with a period of silence. Even 15 minutes of meditation, prayer, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts before engaging with the noise of the world can center you for the day ahead. Your most valuable thoughts often come during these quiet moments. Second, consume information intentionally, not passively. Be ruthless about what you allow into your mind. Unfollow accounts that do not add value. Unsubscribe from emails that waste your time. Turn off notifications. Choose books over scrolling. Quality over quantity. Third, practice strategic ignorance. You do not need to have an opinion on everything. You do not need to stay updated on every news story, celebrity drama, or social media debate. What if you redirected that mental energy toward your most important goals? Fourth, implement a no-complaint policy in your life. Complaining is perhaps the least productive use of words ever invented. It solves nothing, attracts negative people, and reinforces a victim mindset. When you feel the urge to complain, ask instead, what can I do about this situation? Fifth, schedule regular periods of digital detox. 1 day per week without screens can do wonders for your mental clarity and creativity. If that seems impossible, start with 4 hours and work your way up. Sixth, keep a private progress journal. Document your thoughts, insights, failures, and wins where only you can see them. This creates accountability without the pitfalls of seeking external validation. Seven, develop the habit of asking questions rather than making statements in conversations. This accomplishes two things. It keeps you in learning mode rather than performing mode, and it makes you a better listener, which ironically makes you a more valued conversation partner. Eighth, practice delayed response. Not everything requires your immediate reaction. When you receive a message that triggers an emotional response, wait 24 hours before replying if possible. This small gap allows wisdom to enter where reactivity might have prevailed. Ninth, create and protect blocks of deep work time. This is time specifically dedicated to your most important projects with no interruptions allowed. Even 2 hours of deep work can produce more meaningful results than 8 hours of distracted effort. And 10th, end each day with reflection rather than entertainment. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? What did I do well? Where could I improve? What am I grateful for? This simple practice accelerates your growth dramatically over time. Now let us address how to overcome the noise of modern life, because the reality is that we live in the loudest era in human history. Not just physical noise, but informational noise. Everyone has a platform, everyone has an opinion, everyone is shouting for attention. The first step is to recognize that most of this noise is designed to capture your attention, not improve your life. Social media platforms, news outlets, and most content creators are competing for your most precious resource, your attention. When you understand this, you can be more intentional about where you direct that
My feet are
resource.
going to sleep.
The second step is to create physical spaces in your life that support silence and focus. Your environment shapes your behavior more than most people realize. your phone is always within reach, notifications enabled, you will check it constantly. Create tech-free zones in your home. Set up a dedicated workspace that signals to your brain it is time for focused effort. The third step is to carefully curate your social circle. Jim Rohn, that is me, famously said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people are constantly seeking attention, constantly talking without substance, constantly distracted, guess what effect that will have on you? Seek friends who value depth over display, who ask meaningful questions, who challenge you to grow rather than validate your comfort. These relationships may be quiet, but they will be infinitely more valuable. The fourth step is to practice mindful consumption of all media. Before reading an article, watching a video, or scrolling a feed, ask yourself, will this information still matter to me in a month? In a year? Is this contributing to my goals or distracting from them? The fifth step is to recognize and resist outrage culture. Many media sources have discovered that triggering outrage is the fastest way to capture attention. But constant outrage keeps you focused externally on things you often cannot control, rather than internally on what you can control. The sixth step is to create meaningful metrics for your life and focus on those rather than vanity metrics. Followers, likes, and shares are vanity metrics. Health, relationships, financial independence, contribution, and personal growth are meaningful metrics. Now let us talk about results that speak louder than words. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the philosophy of focus on yourself and stay silent proves its worth. I want you to imagine 2 people starting businesses at the same time. The first person creates social media accounts immediately, starts telling everyone about their entrepreneurial journey, posts inspirational quotes, shares every small win and setback, and spends hours networking and promoting himself. The second person quietly studies the market, develops their product or service until it is excellent, tests it with real customers, refines based on feedback, builds systems and processes that work, and only then, when they have something of real value, do they begin to talk about it. Which business do you think will be more substantial after 2 years? I have seen this scenario play out countless times, and almost without exception, the quiet builder outperforms the loud announcer. The same principle applies in personal development. The person constantly talking about their transformation rarely transforms as significantly as the person quietly doing the work. The person posting workout photos from the gym parking lot rarely gets as fit as the person too focused on their training to think about social media. When you focus on creating genuine results, a fascinating thing happens. You do not need to talk about yourself because others will do it for you. Satisfied customers become your marketers. Visible results become your resume. Your work speaks for itself. I have a friend who built a manufacturing business to over $50 million in annual revenue before he ever gave an interview or appeared in any press. When asked why he stayed so under the radar, he said, "I was too busy serving customers and solving real problems to worry about publicity." Now, he cannot keep the press away, all wanting to know the secret to his overnight success that took 15 years to build. There is an old proverb that says, "Let another man praise you and not your own mouth." This is not just good character advice. It is good strategic advice. Validation that comes from others carries infinitely more weight than self-promotion. Results also create a virtuous cycle in your own psychology. When you see the fruits of your focused labor, it reinforces your commitment to the process. It builds genuine confidence that no amount of external validation can provide. It keeps you playing the long game when others get distracted by short-term gratification. Perhaps most importantly, results silence the critics, both external and internal. You no longer need to defend your approach or justify your methods when the outcomes speak for themselves. This frees up tremendous mental and emotional energy that you can reinvest in further growth. Now let us explore the wisdom of strategic silence, because there are times when staying silent is not just productive, but absolutely essential for success. Strategic silence gives you an information advantage. When you listen more than you speak, you learn things others miss. You notice opportunities others overlook. You understand people at a deeper level, which is invaluable in business relationships and leadership. There is a reason why skilled negotiators speak less than amateurs. They know that every time they open their mouth, they potentially give away information without gaining any. They understand that comfort with silence often causes the other party to fill that silence, revealing more than they intended. Strategic silence also gives you time to formulate thoughtful responses rather than reactive replies. In a world of hot takes and immediate reactions, the person who takes time to think before speaking has an enormous advantage. I was once in a business meeting where a potential partner made an offer that seemed appealing on the surface. Everyone around the table was eager to accept. I simply asked, can we have 24 hours to consider this? During that time, I identified 3 major flaws in the proposal that would have cost us dearly. Strategic silence saved us from a costly mistake. Another aspect of strategic silence is knowing when explanation diminishes impact. Sometimes your actions are more powerful without your commentary. Sometimes your achievement stands taller without your narration. Sometimes your point lands stronger without your clarification. Great leaders understand this instinctively. They know when to speak at length, and when a few carefully chosen words or even silence will have the greatest impact. They are confident enough to let their decisions and results communicate for them. There is also wisdom in staying silent about your advantages. In competition,
I have to have
business,
something to listen
sports,
to.
or even intellectual pursuits, there is rarely benefit in
There's
announcing
either
your
that or
strengths,
classical, and I don't want to go to
strategies, or
sleep yet.
discoveries before you have fully leveraged them.
11.
I remember talking with a successful entrepreneur who told me he discovered a highly profitable market niche that had been completely overlooked by major competitors. Instead of writing articles about it or speaking at conferences, he quietly
I
built
thought
a
it was
business that
lower. I
dominated
didn't
this
know
niche
people
for
could
3
hear it.
years before anyone noticed. By then, he had established such a strong position that new entrants struggled to compete. Finally, there is profound wisdom in staying silent about your good deeds. Genuine contribution comes from a desire to give, not to be recognized for giving. The moment you publicize your generosity, you change both its nature and its reward. As we begin to close our time together, I want to talk about your magnificent future through focused, self
Sure. We triple stitch each pair of beam walls. Then construct.
development, because that is what all of this is ultimately about. Not hiding your light, not diminishing your impact, but building something so substantial that when you do shine, it illuminates everything around you. Imagine a version of yourself 5 years from now who has applied these principles consistently, who has focused on personal growth rather than public perception, who has developed skills, knowledge, character, and resources through dedicated daily effort, who has created genuine results through concentrated work rather than scattered attention seeking. This version of you does not need to convince anyone of your value because your value is self-evident. This version of you does not struggle to find opportunities because opportunities are attracted to your developed capabilities. This version of you does not fear criticism because your foundation is too solid to be shaken by mere words. This future is available to anyone willing to make the trade. Less external validation now, for more substantial impact later. Less social affirmation today for more meaningful contribution tomorrow. Less noise, more signal. I believe this approach to life is not just more effective, it is more fulfilling. There is a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you have built something real, something substantial, something that serves others, even if the building process happened largely out of public view. So, let me leave you with this challenge. For the next 30 days, significantly reduce how much you talk about yourself and your plans. Instead, redirect that energy into actual development and execution. Keep a private journal of your progress if you wish, but resist the urge to broadcast. At the end of 30 days, assess what this shift has done for your focus, your productivity, and your peace of mind. I suspect you will discover what many before you have found. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The more you hear, the more you can learn. The more you learn and apply, the more you can achieve. Focus on yourself and stay silent. Not forever, not completely, but more than most do in this noisy world of constant sharing and seeking validation. Do this, and you will build something worth talking about. Something that ultimately speaks for itself.
Aw, I'm glad. It's actually a lot easier with the proper light. It's not taking as long. Hi, how are you? I can't see. Too far away. I think that's all the ends. Alright. What was this? me see. What is this? Now I'll be able to see when someone talks. Hi, how are you? Bend over. Neighborhood's noisy tonight. We're almost done with this section. Yay, us. Oops, that was smart. If it weren't for bloopers, I wouldn't have contact. I'm telling you. Oh, crap. Damn sister's rabbit fur all over the damn place. Okay, it needs more sticky. Scrunchies. I do it 3 times because I don't feel like 1 or 2 is enough. It's probably overkill. But here we are. That doesn't belong there. See, damn rabbit fur. Everywhere. After this is 13. And 13 is V. I should probably put this over here so I can kind of see it better. Is anyone gonna watch the meteor shower the 20th? My son's excited for it. I don't know if I want to do a live stream of the shower or just take the night off. Because I'm not going to want to drive an hour out of town, spend a couple hours out there, and then do another hour and a half to 2 hour live stream that night. Now my dog is saying she's out of food or water. And that's why she's being loud and annoying. Just fed the cat. And she's gotten to where she won't eat unless I sit with her. Aren't cats supposed to be independent creatures, not clingy? And tomorrow I need to take my oldest to the pet store so he can get fish. Because his last one died finally. His angelfish got to the size of a dessert platter. Thing got huge. It lasted 2 years. He was very upset that it died. I told him, get another one. You just need a grieving grace period. His grieving grace period is over. And his tank is set up, circulated, all that good stuff, and it's ready for a new occupant. And that occupant is whatever he wants tomorrow. Hoping it's another angelfish. He really wants a lionfish. And I told him, well, if you can show me that you can take care of this fish, which he did, but I still ended up cleaning it, which in turn doesn't guarantee him a lionfish, because a lionfish is a lot of work. You've got to make the salt water right, you've got to make the temperature right. It's a lot of work. My dad used to have a saltwater fish tank, and you pretty much have to like live around its maintenance. And I don't want to be that committed to a fish tank. I'm not a big fish person. Like, I'll enjoy them, don't get me wrong. They're fun to watch in increments. But if I'm not raising them to eat, I really don't want to deal with them. A dog is different. It's for companionship. They earn their keep that way. And protection in case of a intruder. In my dog's case, the mailman. Oh. Or a stray dog. The cat. She keeps the mice out of the hen house. The hens, they feed us eggs and sell their eggs. The rabbits are my sisters, but if push came to shove, they would be food too. Because steak's getting pretty expensive. $30 freaking dollars a freaking ribeye, man. What am I supposed to eat? I've just been taking iron supplements when I need iron. Because I can't afford $30 a steak. It's not a reasonable price for my budget. Especially when I have to buy Heather one too, my sister. And my youngest loves steak. Ribs sound amazing. But no, chicken was on sale, so I bought enough chicken to make chicken dinners for the rest of the month. So that's what we've been eating. Well, not tonight. Tonight we had Salisbury steak. It was poor man food tonight. Because I didn't feel like cooking. I made my sister do it. And the night before, I made my husband make dinner, which was tacos. Yeah, tacos. Tacos are yummy. I love tacos. Alright, we missed some. There's a 4 here we missed. And we missed an O somewhere. Right here. O is 10. Crap. See what I say? Bloopers. If it weren't for bloopers, I wouldn't have content. Some days I feel like my life is a big blooper. But everybody gets in those funks. I'm in one of those funks. I think that's why I've been doing lives more. To help me get away from my thoughts. 13. 13 is V. But yeah, chicken was $1.98 a pound, and I scooped up on that quicker than you can say woohoo. Because normally it's been being $2.68 a pound, and that's just too expensive for chicken. And then when drumsticks are 98 cents a pound, we stock up on those too. We bought 2 pallets, 2 trays. I call them pallets. They're trays. Whatever. 2 slabs. I should have bought more. But I need to go through the deep freezer to make more room before I do. But out of my 600 food budget, we have 300 left. I'm saving 100 for end of the month sales before the last week of the month. Food tends to be cheapest. Like all the prices dip down, and then right before the 28th of the month, between the 28th of the end of the month and the 15th of the next month, the following month, stores normally jack up the price. I don't know if you've noticed, but they do it because of the welfare people. If you're on welfare, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's just a fact that stores jack up the price before people get their welfare. And that's why you can see the inflation on stuff, because it's not people paying out of pocket. It's people paying with government money. And so I try to save at least 100 of my money, my budget for that week between the 15th and the 28th, because prices are normally way lower. Yeah. Like Nature Owns bread. It's a prime example, because we have to have it, one, because 20, leave the bunny alone. We have to have Nature Owned bread because the other stuff gives my kids gut rot. And if you don't know what gut rot is, it's when they get like stinky burps. I guess it's too. I don't want to say gluten sensitive, because it's not the same thing. It's just harder on their systems. And then my sister has diabetes, so it's the lowest in carbs for her. But anyway, between the 28th and the 15th, that bread is around $3.98 a loaf, versus between the 16th and the 27th, that same loaf is roughly, depending on where you go, can be anywhere between $1.98 to $2.98. It drops anywhere from $2 to $3 when it's not. I call it food stamp season. Again, I'm not poking at anyone that's on the system. It's just facts that I've been seeing, trends that I've been seeing, not facts, trends. Let me clarify. X. We're doing X now. But pay attention. Like, the next time you go to the store, mentally keep track of like certain foods that you buy, and see the price fluctuate between food stamp season and not. Because they can get away with it, because your food stamp people, they typically go in there and buy for the entire month in one shot. Those are the people that have one giant cart. Well, not even that, because I can have one giant cart. I guess three carts. I've seen people with 3 carts. Like the lady is pushing it and the husband's pulling the other two. Oh, they're the ones that only shop the one time and they'll keep the little bit for the milk or whatever the rest of the month. Which I'm not, saying that's a bad thing. That's a great idea. You're just missing a lot of sales doing it that way, for one. Two, that influx in pricing is gonna eat your budget. Like your budget's gonna, your money isn't gonna go as far during that season. But that's why I tried to not go between the 28th and the 15th of the month. One, it's too crowded, and two, the pricing is crazy. Because they'll add anywhere between 75 cents to $2 on items. Just watch it the next couple of months. You'll be amazed at what you see, how things change. And it'll happen every month too. The same pattern. I might have to get up and feed this ding dog. She's being annoying. She's acting like she didn't have dinner. She's turning into a hobbit. Second dinner, mama. Alright. I'll be right back. I must feed the little one. Alright. Hello, how are you? I had to get up to feed or I guess give her water. She had her paw in her water bowl on her way to give it to me. She's a brat. She's a big brat. And a little dog body. She's a good dog. I have the meowy song stuck in my head. What can I say except you're welcome? Now, I'm not a big Disney person, but I'm in the mood to watch Aladdin. I like Aladdin. It's a cute I like Sword in the Stone and Cinderella. Well, not Cinderella. I don't like Cinderella. Sword in the Stone and Sleeping Beauty. I love Sleeping Beauty. It's like my all-time favorite. Oh crap. I missed a few. Can I say except you're welcome? And right now, canned goods are cheap. Oh, they're about as cheap as they're gonna get. They might go a little few cents cheaper. But for us, I don't think they will. Right now, they're 50 cents a can. And we've been stocking up on those the best we can. I need to go buy $20 worth before the 28th. 14. We're doing 15 next. Oh, 15 is more. Really no point pouring them out for 3. That is done. All is done. Oh. 15, 16 is L. We have quite a few L's. Yep. Probably not that many. We'll start on this side. 1, 2, If you're an 80s kid, you know what that's from. What can I say except you're welcome? My sticky is all gone. I need more sticky in my life. I think that was enough. And there's the rabbits making noise. Jack's a good boy, though. I like him. He doesn't make too much noise. He's a sweetheart. What can I say? Hi, how are you? Answer. Answer. How are you? I have been yapping and yapping. person. But I'm not entirely too sure what I could do to be entertaining. So any suggestions would be amazing. I pretty much just do this because this is something I would do regardless if the camera was on or not. But I would be like watching a movie or something. But I can't do that because I don't want a copyright strike. Because I don't know what movie would flag me or not. Like I try to keep the YouTube videos quiet. Because again, I don't want to be flagged with the copyright strike. And other YouTubers can flag you. And I really don't want to run into that. What can I say except you're welcome? Oh, what song's gonna stay in my head until I listen to the damn thing? I hate that. But on the upside, I'm almost done. Yay. Yay us. I think that's all it is. Yeah. Oh, no, I missed one. Yeah, that's it. That's all the L's. 16 is done, my dears. 17. Oh. Which is why. 'Tis not many. I believe that's it. That was so anticlimactic. 18. 18 is C. We have a couple C's. I'm still in frame. Yeah, okay. See. Two over here. What I've currently been stuck on watching, like binge watching, is like those phony text videos and those AI talking shorts. Might be addicted. Terrible. That's all this is. Alright, 19 is T. Oh, I missed a C. I see it. Where'd it go? My scene is right here. Over here. tea. I was gonna do the stream at 2 tonight, but my previous plans fell through and decided to do it early, and I would do it longer. Because at 2 I can only do an hour to hour and a half stream, and at the time I started, I believe it was like 11:30, almost midnight. I can last 2 or 3 hours. That's why I went ahead and did double papers. I wanted to get this done and over with so I can move on to other things. To meet my goal of getting 5 new subscribers. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. I'm excited. Oh, there's another C. Ta-da! What number was I doing? 19 T. T. Ta-da for tea. But I am getting tired. 20. 20 is a... I like A's color. It's like a coral. It's very pretty. I'm not a very red type person, but it's more of a pinky red. And I like pink and brown together. Like I was on that kick forever. I even painted a canvas bag that was pink and brown checkered. It was like my everywhere bag. And mushrooms and everything else on it. I guess I could do it live like that. I could make another canvas bag. I think people would like that. I would like that. I think I might. But again, I can't do that until this is done because I must finish a project before I start a new project, or I will never go back to this project and finish it. That's just how I work. My grandma was the same way. She would start quilts. She had quilt tops done out the wazoo. And she would start another quilt top without finishing it. So it didn't have a middle or a backing. And then my dad made her a quilt seesaw thing. It hung in the rafters from the garage. And you spread your quilt across it so she could tack it. Tacking it means you poke a hole in it, like, let's see. Let's say this is your quilt. You're gonna push your needle with your yarn through it and come up, and then you're gonna, well, you would do it from both sides, but anyway, you would have 2 strings and you would tie it in a knot, and then that would be your tack. Instead of like hand quilting the entire thing, that's how my grandma would make quilts. I've made two quilts in my life. One by hand stitching the entire thing. Was my son's Fiji blanket. It was felt and or fleece. It was a fleece blanket. I hand cut all the designs for the flag because it was a Fiji flag. The crest, the banana tree, the whole shebang, right? And then the shield, and it was a full size hand sewn, hand cut fleece blanket. He still has it. He loves it. And it took me 3 months to do that thing. But he loves it. And then I made my sister one recently because my husband had bought me a sewing machine. I've been wanting to try my hand again with a sewing machine because me and sewing machines, we don't get along. I don't know how they work and they don't understand my temperament. But he bought me one. I figured out how to make it work, and I figured out how to fix it once it broke. The whole shebang. Well, now it's like broke. Like it's one of those cheapies because, you know, when you're just starting out and you're buying for someone that easily just gives up on projects, you don't go, you know, $500 worth of machinery. No, you get the cheap thing that's like $40, which was fine. I think it was like $100, but still, I used the crap out of it. I made curtains. Oh my god, I made curtains. I made the cutest little half curtains for the kitchen, and then I made my sister a wolf blanket. And I tell you that me and blankets with a sewing machine, at least this cheapy one, it does not work. It's more of a headache than it is a fun experience. So yeah. So I've made 2 quilts. I want to try to do the tack method like my grandma did. And I want to do little vintage dolls. They were like her favorite thing to make. They were, hold on, I'm sitting on my foot and it's asleep. I'm too old to sit on the floor. 21. Okay. They were called bonnet ladies, and they held an umbrella. You don't see their face, and it was her favorite thing to make as a quilt. And they were my favorites because they were just so pretty. They were like 18-inch squares. They were huge. She turned them into throw pillowcases. She turned it into pillowcases. Like, it took me forever to find the pattern. But that's, if I get a real sewing machine, I think that's what I'll try to do, is those. Because I don't think I could sew that by hand. There's too many pieces. And it would take me forever. Just like the wedding ring quilts, I love those. And those tacked, those are really pretty. The windmill, or I think they're called windmills. They're like a broken pizza slice looking thing in a circle, in a square. I don't know what they're called. I like the look at those too, tacked. see. I used to be a huge artsy crafty person. Then I had kids and I just don't have the 18 hours a day to dedicate to just sitting here doing something. I used to paint and draw and all that stuff. As the kids get older, the less that they need my assistance and the more apt I am to, I guess, do more artsy stuff. I've missed it. Like, after I'm done with this, I have I have plastic canvas. I used to make plastic canvas everything from bookmarks to coasters to toilet paper holders to napkin, whatever. I was like so quick with it, and it was so easy and fast and fun. But then it got monotonous and boring because everybody ordered the same thing. Because I made it for all the ladies at church. I was young, and they loved it. They loved that someone so young was so into old crafts. But I want to try and make what I can. Not the tissue boxes, of course, but like the bookmarks. Those are fun to make. Easy to make. I can sell those. People will buy them. Stuff I could like make on here during lives. Let's make bookmarks and BS. Or I just talk to myself like I do now. Oops, that went flying. With bloopers, of course. I'm good at those. Yep. Almost finished. All the F's are done. Yay, us. Mm. 22 is P. Oh, that would have been bad. Is that a 7 or a P? That's a 7. How did I miss that? 3, 4. Oh, well. No. Alright, back on track now. Da, 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 da. No, I'm joking. Just trying to fill the void of silence. I believe the pee is done. Yes. 22 finished. 23's next. Which is you. Gonna get some sticky. Believe it. I miss S's too. Dang it, and N's. I don't like backtracking. I'm just gonna keep going and then I'll fill in the blanks when I'm done. D is 25. I missed a T too. Had enough? STFN. Okay, S was 12. That's 4. 16. 12. 12 was S. 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 No S's. S. S. Another S. N. N is 11. M. T was 19. And F was 21. We're finished with 2 sections. JS. Okay. You can see the bridge. Looks so good. is it? It's 2. I'm gonna call it. Tomorrow we can reach 3 more subscribers for our 100. Yay! Good night.